Hello, Warrior. I'm excited to share this message with you this week as I'm actually just celebrated my 15th anniversary last Saturday. And so I wanted to talk to you a little bit about love and keeping the romance alive and a few things I've learned in my 15 years of being married. I know there's people who've been married longer than me, but just some observations that I've made. We're going to talk about it today. And I found this amazing quote from Boyd K. Packer where he says, "Romantic love is not only a part of life, but literally a dominating influence of it. It is deeply and significantly religious. There is no abundant life without it." I like that. Without romantic love, we cannot have an abundant life. And so clearly, this is something that is important for all of us because we want to have an abundant life. So let's talk about some of the observations I've made in my 15 years of marriage. Once again, my name is Lawrence Stone. I am the basic trainer, and I do want to establish with you your vision. And your vision should be one of an abundant life. And as we saw from this quote, I absolutely agree with it. Romance is an important and integral part of having that abundant life. We want to be loved. We want to be accepted, and having a romantic relationship with someone is essential to that. And in my 15 years of marriage, there's three things, three lessons that I've really learned that help keep romance going. And one thing I really feel strongly about is the longer my wife and I are in our relationship, the longer we're together, the more romantic and the stronger and more fulfilling and more abundant that romance is. And I look forward to continuing moving forward with that abundant relationship and that romance. But the first thing you need to keep the romance alive in your marriage and in your relationship is trust. Trust comes even starting before you meet that partner you want to spend the rest of your life with. It comes by doing the things that you are not ashamed of, that you're very easily willing to talk to them about and tell them about. And if you have done things that you're ashamed of, you still will be able to talk about those things. Don't be ashamed. Create that trust. One thing I've learned is that the longer we are married, the more we trust each other. And we've passed through a lot of levels over our 15 years, and our trust just seems to get more and more each year. Every time I think that we've hit that maximum of how much we can trust each other, something happens and we trust each other even more. And our romance and our affection for each other deepens and is even more profound. So keep enduring. Time will help you establish more trust as long as you earn that trust and are meriting that trust. If your eyes are constantly wandering, if you're looking at images of other women that you're not supposed to, or other men that you're not supposed to, if you're constantly wondering about what's going on with my ex, or da 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 da, you're not establishing trust. So time can help establish trust, but you have to be doing things that are trustworthy and faithful in order to get there. With that, talk daily, report daily to each other the things that are going on, even if they seem stupid. Even if you don't want to hear what he or she is saying, listen to them, ask them how they did. Make sure that you are involved in each other's lives, even if it seems like small things. That's going to help increase the amount of trust you can have for each other. Observation number 2: touch. Holding hands, hugging, kissing, intimacy. All these things are important. Touch is important for the relationship. You'll find studies have been done that touch reduces stress. Touch also signals to the brain affection and compassion, and even helps create trust, which we just talked about. And there's all sorts of We talked about some of the things: touching, kissing, holding hands. One thing that's important that my wife and I have tried to establish in our relationship as we've been married is when when we haven't seen each other, and one of us, say for example, when I come home from work, she comes and kisses me. It's part of our routine. It's part of who we are, and I kiss her before I leave. So when we're saying goodbye and when we're saying hello again, a kiss is part of that ritual. It helps deepen that affection for each other, helps deepen that romance for each other. Another awesome thing that you can do that women especially love, at least in men tend to shy away from more than women, but I'm sure there's some men out there that love it too. But dancing or swaying, just holding your partner close and rocking back and forth. And I'm going to come back to that in just a second. The third thing, and this one might seem a little odd, in order for the romance to stay alive in your relationship, you have to struggle. But struggle together. Life is full of challenges and hard times. And if we allow those challenges to cause a separation between your partner and you, then it's just going to get worse. What you need to do when you're going into those trials and those tribulations is you need to hold on to your spouse and hold on to them extra tight, physically and spiritually. Okay, again, it comes back to that touch. And then as you hold on to each other again, that's going to increase the amount of trust. So it all just kind of ties in. The most difficult challenge my wife and I have ever had to endure, we were only married for a few years when my wife was in a tragic car accident and our daughter Ethne passed away as a result of that. I've talked about that in some other videos. I remember when I was in high school, a classmate passed away in a car accident. And a few years later, talking about that incident with my mother, and she said everyone was observing what would happen to their parents because they knew that the loss of a child could make or break a relationship, that they would either be more united or that they would completely destroy their marriage. And I remember after we lost our daughter Ethne, thinking about that conversation and making the determination, this is not going to destroy my marriage. It's going to bring us together. And I made that determination that it was going to unite us more. And having endured that trial and other trials has only made us stronger, has only deepened our love for each other, and has only increased the amount of romance because we trust each other more. Like it goes back to it. I hold on to her. We trust each other because that's how we reacted to those struggles and those trials. Don't be afraid of them. Don't go looking for them, but don't shy away from them either. Face them head on, holding each other tight. Okay. My challenge for you this week, take your spouse and in your bedroom or wherever where it's just you two alone, wherever you want to go, and dance or sway. You don't even have to move in circles. Just hold each other tight. And as you hold each other, again, you're going to increase the amount of trust with each other. And if it's a struggle for you to dance and that's a challenge and a trial, hold each other for that trial. And you're going to increase that affection for each other and that romance instantly. Find a song that's your song. I'm going to create a playlist of a handful of songs, maybe half a dozen songs that my wife and we like to sway to, and that are really good songs. And I'm going to include that in my email. I'll include a link. I'll just create the playlist on YouTube, and I'll include a link in the email where you can access it. But hold on to each other. And so my challenge to you is to sway or dance for 7 days in a row. Just try it out. Promise you, you're going to feel greater affection for each other and more trust for each other, and you're going to want to hold on to each other. It's amazing how dancing and swaying can do that. And as you have more romance and a strong romantic life, it's going to create more abundance, which is helping you establish that rhythm to your vision. It's going to be amazing. Just watch what happens.